Good evening, everybody. This is Bill Noble. Welcome to the Sunday evening crypto conference call. First, on a serious note, we want to wish our colleagues, Ian Bellina and the Token Metrics partners well and safety. They're in Japan right now, being held up by a typhoon. So I'm filling in for them this week, and we're gonna talk some charts. All right. So one of the things that we need to address right away with Bitcoin is we're all probably going a little nuts trying to figure out why it is that Bitcoin is stuck. You know, it had this big crash. There are positive factors. The bears have their case, and we're stuck. All right. So today I did some digging, and I just want to go over the visuals quick first, and I'll summarize it for you in a moment. All right. So here we have this green line. That's the 21-day moving average. Why is that important? Well, the 21-day moving average is a key component in like momentum models, particularly in equities and other financial assets. So when something is above the 21-day moving average, it's considered to be looking pretty good. And when it's below, it's not. Okay. And as you can see right here, you know, Bitcoin went running up to the 21-day moving average and stopped. Okay, not good. So we also have the 200-day moving average, okay, which is sort of like something that people look at kind of on a longer term basis, like what's the overall health of the market. And we'll notice that Bitcoin ran up there right where this arrow is and just stopped and came off. And now we're just all sitting around. So 1 minute it looks great, the next minute it looks terrible, and probably it's neither. It's neutral, and here's why. I did some reading just now, actually, and we have an article on Zero Hedge called QE for the People, Is This the End Game? All right, and it's quoting a story from BNP Paribas where they're discussing the amount of money available in the banking system. So before, you had maybe heard us talking about there's something going on in the banking system where there's not enough money to go around. So it's not like Lehman Brothers in 2008, but there's just for some reason not enough money. And the Fed has literally started pushing money and printing money to get it into the system, okay? BNP Paribas is estimating that the Fed is going to have to put in over $400 billion into the system, as in print it, to keep the ship afloat for whatever this mysterious phenomenon is. So how does this fit in with crypto? Well, if there's not enough money in the system, then high-powered speculative assets like stocks or crypto could be stuck. Said differently, stocks and crypto do great when there's a huge tidal wave of money in the system, okay? So if there's just not enough money to go around, there's just not enough money to chase crypto, hence we all sit here stuck, okay? Now, one of the other things is, like them or not, that this article says that's kind of interesting is, you know, that Donald Trump was actually right. He's been calling for the Fed to push money into the system through QE. It's called quantitative easing or printing money. He's been screaming about this and getting laughed at for months. So it will be interesting headed into the 2020 election system if the Fed really has to step on the gas and start pushing money in the system. That could be really good for gold and really, really good for crypto. Because again, you know, crypto needs that monetary jet fuel in order to get going. All right. So moving to sort of the next chart, we've got Ethereum. Okay. We've had our theme in this for a while that, you know, we think Ethereum is good. We think if the market goes up, Ethereum will lead. Right now, Ethereum is sitting on its 21-day moving average near 178. So that's looking okay. So if you're long Ethereum and you have a longer term horizon, we don't see any reason to change our mind about Ethereum, right? I wanted to talk Litecoin for just a moment. Litecoin is sitting right on its 21-day moving average near 56. Okay, that's really interesting. Uh, it's interesting because Litecoin can't get above it, which of course is not good because we actually thought some of these big coins might do better. But Litecoin is also really far away from its 200-day moving average, which is all the way up at 88. So if Litecoin did go up, it's got a lot of upside. But right now, that's looking like kind of a big if, right? These coins, Bitcoin, Litecoin, they have to prove themselves. Ethereum is holding. All right, so that's how I would sum up crypto. In the macro world, again, the Fed's going to have to put money in the system. They're probably going to have to put a lot of money in. We think that benefits crypto, but if the Fed drags its feet, that could be crypto negative. So, as much as I like it, as much as I want to be bullish, it failed at moving averages, and I just have to stay as objective as I can about what's happening here, so to give you the best read possible. All right, now one thing I am noticing is things are perking up in the alt universe, believe it or not. All right, so I'm actually starting to change my mind a little bit when it comes to how alts might do, particularly if we're in like a Bitcoin stuck phase, okay, where Bitcoin just can't move. So here's an example of something that I was looking at maybe a week or so ago. Okay, so this is ZRX. It's on Coinbase. And we're noticing that ZRX got above this resistance point that I had drawn right here. And ZRX is currently pressing this arrow right here at the black line at the 200-day moving average. And right now, it's kind of interesting because it's above the 200-day moving average, okay? Now, if we draw out our Elliott wave and ZRX just goes through sort of a normal correction of this humongous down move, the last part of the down move really accelerated from this point, okay? Or you could say it was from this point, okay? Either way, somewhere in the neighborhood of 39 or 40, okay, that's a logical target, even if it's still a bear market, for ZRX to sort of rip up to. And I'm noticing that, when Bitcoin failed at the 21 and 200-day moving averages, there were a couple of these bigger, higher profile altcoins that started to trade better. So if you're a ZRX fan, there's a lot to be happy about. If you're thinking about getting long ZRX because you want to do a trading play and you want to risk a little bit of money, let me say that again, a little bit of money, then, why not, right? It's the only game in crypto right now, okay? And we're also looking at Cosmos, okay? So when we first talked about Cosmos, it's actually one of our first shows, all right? And we said when Cosmos went down, okay, and then it came back here, okay? This was the 23% retracement of this down move. So at the time we said, you know what, let's not chase altcoins. Let's just, relax and not chase it. And what Cosmos has done is it's built a base, okay? In other words, it's taken this point that was resistance, okay, and it's sort of built a base right here, okay? Let's see if I can get fancy and draw something around it. Right there, okay? Cosmos has been hanging out here. Now, one of the things that can happen when something builds a base or goes sideways is that it can rip to the upside, okay? The saying is the bigger the base, the higher in the space. Now, I don't know if that's what's going to happen in Cosmos, but I know if Bitcoin is stuck, the bid in crypto may start flowing into these high quality alts And you could have a move in Cosmos, from, like 33.80 something to 43.60 something. All right. And we were looking at Ravencoin as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this is really interesting. All right, so today's a corrective day for Ravencoin. All right, and the first thing we noticed when we looked at this was that Ravencoin managed to do a nice breakout here above a fib speed resistance line. What's a fib speed resistance line? It's something we use on TradingView to try to calculate diagonal resistances. Okay, we like to look at resistance horizontally and diagonally. All right, and then we're also noticing that Ravencoin sort of came off a little bit and may return to say 402. Now, if Ravencoin, which I understand is kind of involved in the tokenization of everything, like you could buy a token that gives you a small piece of a giant skyscraper. If that's true and Ravencoin is or can be the real deal, I'm wondering if buying a dip makes sense in a world where Bitcoin is stuck. Because this breakout was pretty impressive. So whether it's ZRX or Cosmos or Ravencoin, we do think there is a universe underneath Bitcoin that's starting to show some life. Okay, another more obvious one is Binance Coin. Okay, Binance Coin, say if we look at a weekly chart, okay, this has obviously been an impressive week so far for Binance Coin. Okay, here's some of the technical highlights. So Binance Coin, after doing this big correction, okay, it came down to the 76% retracement of the big rally. Okay, that's right here. And then obviously Binance Coin hit this support zone in gray, all right in here, and then bounced. All right, and if you look at this on a weekly chart, okay, this big down move, this doji, and then the bigger up move, okay, that's what they call in candles, like a star formation. So I don't know if you want to chase it today, but this looks like a major bottom to me, really, especially if Binance Coin holds up for the rest of Sunday. So again, we're seeing sort of a bid in the smaller part. We're seeing a good rally in the smaller part of the bigger coin list, right? Higher profile names, but not your household names. Okay? So one of the things that we're going to be watching into next week, and we wanted to just put this up there so that you'd see it, is we're going to watch S&P futures next week. There's a lot of things happening out there in the world. Our belief on stocks was that if stocks were weak, it would help Bitcoin. It would force professional portfolio managers to add Bitcoin to their portfolio. Okay, and we think, again, one of the other reasons Bitcoin may be stuck is that stocks are doing okay, right? So these are stock futures contracts, okay? Okay, it's called ES for S&P 500 mini. Right now, the minis are above their 21-day moving average. I don't know how long that'll last, but while it is happening, it's probably going to weigh on Bitcoin a little bit, because if for whatever reason everybody thinks everything is rosy in stocks, then people may be less inclined to jump into Bitcoin at the institutional level. So my point for this week is there really isn't a big point to be made. Bitcoin is waiting on either a negative event in equities or for the Fed to really start pumping money into the market. All right. And until then, we've just sort of got to sit around and deal with this stuck factor in Bitcoin right here. And in the meantime, there are things underneath Bitcoin on the market cap chart, your ZRXs, your Ravens, your Cosmos, that are doing pretty good. All right, so that's it. That's it for this week's show. We're going to get Ian back online, and we'll have the full show next week. Good evening and trade well. Thank you.